On to Great Britain. I mean, there are 4 key messages in relation to Great Britain next year. First of all, we want to focus primarily in Britain on the culturally curious, those people who have the capacity to spend more, stay longer, and add value. We want to develop trusted media partnerships, a bit like what I showed you in Germany and the USA already. Competitiveness is the watchword, folks. The value of sterling has fallen by 20%. The average daily rate of hotels here has gone up by about 20% in the last 2 years. We have to be careful. If we want to grow business in Britain, we have to be as competitive as we were 2 years ago. And finally, there's a great regional and seasonal opportunity in Britain as well, which I'll talk about shortly. In terms of the culturally curious, one example of a partner that we'll work with next year is Culture Ireland, who have a huge GB 2018 showcase in 100 different events operating across Britain. Examples include Celtic Connections in Glasgow and also events in the Barbican Theatre. And we're partnering with Culturally Curious to ensure that we tap into that audience to encourage these people not just to come and experience sort of Irish culture, but come and experience the real thing after that. We've got great partnerships already with The Guardian, The Telegraph, Classic FM, Smooth Radio and Vivo. For example, on Vivo we had Codeline just this autumn, which projected out to 10 million social energisers in Britain. And that's the type of relationship we're going to deepen as we go through the next part of 2018 to work on these media partnerships that gives us great reach into the British market. I touched on Brexit earlier on. One of the outcomes from our Brexit summit in Great Britain was to work with coach tour operators and the Coach Tourism Association to bring them on a fan trip to North West. And we worked with Fáilte Ireland and Tourism Northern Ireland to make sure that they got to Donegal, Sligo, Cavan, Leitrim. There's a picture of them here at Listed House in Sligo. And we're delighted that Chris Tarrant is going to be coming over, along with Angler's Word on the 14th of December to Cavan to participate in championships there and get a strong message out. And those border counties are going to be very important for us in 2018 in the context of Brexit. Season extension and regional growth, very important to Britain as well. Working with partners like Ryanair, like Aer Lingus, like Flybe. Here's an example of the Wild Atlantic Wave promotion that's out at the moment in Manchester, London and Scotland, being seen by 1.5 million people. But it's always important to remember there are more than 150,000 seats every single week from Great Britain in the winter months. There are more than 225,000, 250,000 seats every single week available from Great Britain in the summer months. So it's important that we have a programme all year round in that market. What does the figures look like at the end of next year? We see 0% in Britain next year, but 1.5 billion of a spend, driven by 4.58 million visitors, a decline of 2%. It's important to bear in mind that currency plays a large role in this, by the way. We've seen currency variations forecasted from anything from 0.83 to 0.95. So it's important that we keep these figures under review, continue to update them, because they will change on a regular basis. But the 4 key messages that I mentioned are the absolute watchwords in relation to Britain for next year.